Bien, bonsoir à toutes, bonsoir à tous, et merci d'avoir pris le temps de participer à ce webinaire dédié à ce programme particulier de l'INSA de Lyon qui est, comme vous pouvez le lire sur le transparent, le International Bachelor in Mechanical Materials and Aerospace Engineering. Webinaire au cours duquel nous allons essayer de vous présenter les grandes lignes en termes d'organisation, les spécificités de ce programme. Et quand je dis nous, eh bien, vous ne voyez pas encore, mais je suis entouré d'une escouade d'étudiants de première, troisième année et d'anciens élèves qui viendront prendre la parole à tour de rôle, selon une organisation qui reste encore à définir, pour vous donner un aperçu de leur vécu et des raisons pour lesquelles ils ont choisi ce programme et peut-être donner un petit peu de consistance par leur témoignage. Alors, une des choses aussi que l'on souhaite mettre en avant dans ce transparent en particulier, c'est la diversité d'origine linguistique, culturelle des étudiants qui composent ce programme de bachelor. On le pressent, on le devine sur la photo qui apparaît à l'écran. Ça se confirmera avec les différents étudiants qui vont se succéder à ce micro. C'est vraiment un programme très international. Un deuxième point qu'on peut également mettre en avant, c'est l'équilibre que nous jugeons extrêmement satisfaisant entre la population féminine et masculine dans ce programme où on n'est pas loin d'avoir une parité entre les deux. Alors, ce programme de bachelor international, ou ce webinaire, on va essayer de le rendre aussi interactif que possible. Vous avez normalement la possibilité de poser des questions quelque part par écrit. Donc, je vous propose l'organisation suivante, une présentation avec des interventions des élèves, et puis ensuite une séance de questions-réponses. On va alterner français et anglais en fonction du public que l'on ne connaît pas bien a priori. Et donc, on va rapidement passer en anglais, puisque nous avons peut-être des étudiants qui viennent d'ailleurs que la France et leurs parents qui suivent ce webinaire. Donc, si je reste pour l'instant en français, les grandes caractéristiques de ce programme, eh bien, c'est qu'il est, caractéristique numéro un, il est entièrement, intégralement dispensé en langue anglaise, sauf bien sûr ceux qui font des langues étrangères autres que l'anglais. Ou ceux qui ne parlent pas français suivent des cours de français en langue étrangère. Donc ce programme a été créé en 2016. Donc c'est un programme qui a un certain vécu. On a une expérience de terrain réelle, un peu de recul. Et 2016, donc c'était le premier bachelor international ouvert dans une école d'ingénieurs en France. Donc ce programme dure 3 années en termes de scolarité et c'est un partenariat entre l'ECAM de Lyon, qui est donc une école d'ingénieurs sur la colline de Fourvière, à peu de distance du campus de l'INSA de Lyon, qui lui se trouve à Villeurbanne, l'Université de Strathclyde, qui est à Glasgow en Écosse, et l'Université de Twente, qui se trouve dans la ville d'Enschede, qui est aux Pays-Bas et qui se trouve à proximité de la frontière allemande. Ce programme a été accrédité par le ministère de l'Enseignement supérieur et de la Recherche pour délivrer le grade de licence et a été validé par un audit conduit par la Commission des titres d'ingénieur en 2021. Ce programme délivre 180 crédits ECTS, 60 crédits par année, et permet donc d'accéder à des formations Bac+5, master internationaux, diplôme d'ingénieur. On y reviendra dans les derniers transparents de cette présentation. Alors, ce programme, ce qu'on essaie de faire, si j'essaie de résumer, c'est d'essayer de trouver le meilleur de deux mondes, d'une certaine manière, qui consiste à concilier une approche anglo-saxonne sur certains sujets, je reviendrai, donc des approches plutôt inductives, des approches tournées vers l'application plus que la démonstration, par exemple en mathématiques, des approches où on va faire travailler les élèves ensemble sur des projets d'équipe. Il y a beaucoup de projets dans les différents sujets qui sont proposés. Et donc, je parlais du meilleur de deux mondes. Le deuxième monde étant les formations de type ingénieur en France, qui sont connues pour leur rigueur et, caractéristique intéressante par rapport au monde anglo-saxon, imposent des stages en entreprise qui demeurent malgré tout relativement rares dans les universités américaines ou britanniques. Donc, c'est également un programme avec une proximité relativement importante avec le milieu socio-économique, l'industrie, puisque les élèves doivent suivre 2 stages, ont des projets en fin d'études qui sont en lien avec des entreprises assez fréquemment, et donc qui, normalement, doit aussi conduire à une possibilité d'entrer sur le marché du travail. Now, in terms of requirements, and if we switch to English, as we normally target people able to communicate in English, the linguistic requirement that we have is for non-native speakers, we would like a C1 level in English, and we want this proof of proficiency to be validated by an external official language test, such as TOEFL, IELTS. Not just in a letter from your English teacher saying that you're very good is not sufficient. We want something official at level C1. Concerning now the academic requirements, well, it depends a lot on the origin of the students. So here, 3 examples are given. A levels, we are targeting students with 2 A's and a B, A in maths and A in physics. We want, generally speaking, people who are pretty good at maths, because even if we don't have the highly theoretical approach that is standard in French engineering courses, especially for the first 2 years, we want people to be able to manipulate, calculate. It shouldn't be an obstacle if you have to integrate something, for example. The other example of requirements that we give in the slides is the International BAC, IB. So the minimum requirements, 32 points overall, and we want maths at higher level 5 and physics at higher level 5 as well. Concerning the French BAC, which perhaps is for the majority of the people listening to this presentation, we will consider people with an average in maths and physics over, let's say, the last 3 years, above 13. That's the minimum requirement. After all, we noticed that the vast majority of our students, they got mention bien or très bien at the back, with grades in maths which are higher than 30. Please note that advanced maths is not necessary if you want to apply for this program. Facts and figures. So if we try to summarize a little bit in terms of number of students, etc., etc. So we have a small cohort of students. We are limited to, let's say, 35, maximum 40 students per year, which corresponds to the maximum capacities that we have in terms of teaching possibilities, because we need to have teachers able to teach in English. In terms of origin, it's impressive in the sense that I just checked the other day, since the creation of the program, we had 55 different nationalities which have been represented in the program, and currently we have 35 plus in the 3 years of the program. Around 80% of the students are foreign. I told you that the program was created in 2016, so we already have 5 cohorts which graduated, and it gives us a certain feedback. You will see that it shows the range of possibilities of the graduation the bachelor's graduation. And I think it's quite interesting. And finally, it has to be extremely clear that the program is not free. Students, and possibly mainly the parents, have to pay annual tuition fees of 7,300 euros per year. Tuition fees, obviously not including accommodation and catering and other fees. So I'm not going to explain and give the detail of all the subjects. This is a model timetable for year one of the program. We are working in semesters. So here you can see semester 1 and 2. Things to notice, first of all, the number of hours per week tends to be a little bit less than what we have in class préparatoire, clearly. The other thing is, if you read, we'll see that we are teaching maths for engineering, which is a sort of mathematical tools for engineering and physics. But students don't spend an awful lot of time demonstrating properties of functions or stuff like that. It's more towards applications in engineering. Something else that can be noted here is that students have humanities classes. We want to train engineers, citizens, people who are going to be responsible. And so students have a component which is not just technical, scientific, but also humanistic. There's a box in green for semester 2 here, and that corresponds to the partnership I mentioned with ECAM Lyon, meaning that the students will, in the second semester, move from the INSA campus to the ECAM campus near Fourvière, and here they will follow classes in the thermodynamics. More specific, perhaps, you can see 2 horizontal boxes at the bottom. The first one refers to a intensive week of professional communication. The first week of class, all the first-year students follow a specific training for communication in English to be able to present scientific subjects, technical subjects, to be able to write reports. And the second box refers to transversal projects which are conducted over 2 weeks, and they just do 2 weeks of projects. It was in the end of January, so the students, they will show you some of their results. And that's the objective, is to overall analyze, design, manufacture, and test systems as much as they can. So in order to perhaps give more concrete examples, we have first-year students here, and I'm going to call some of them so that they can introduce themselves and perhaps explain why they came here and what they did in the projects. So we'll see. So the first speaker is Nicholas from Spain.
Hi, everyone. So as Felix has already said, my name is Nicolas and I come from Spain. I chose this program. I chose this program after being accepted in other programs such as CPFL, because I thought that this program represented more the idea I had of engineer and what I wanted for myself. Not only because of the good hands-on engineering, which is more real engineering, in my opinion, than in other programs, but also because of the good student life and the associations and opportunities which we can find in here. And also it might be useful for other people here to know that what I studied in high school was a Bachelor, which is a mixture between French baccalaureate and Spanish bachiller. And I think that's everything which
Elena?
Hello, my name is Elena. I am Russian and I graduated in the Czech Republic with my A-levels. I'm also a first year. And I chose this program because I was really interested in aerospace, and through all the universities I looked at, to be honest, INSA Lyon really stood out to me, partially because it was in France and I really wanted to live in France. I love the culture, the food, and the language too. For anybody who might be listening, who might be maybe a bit worried about not having a very high level of French, obviously, as you must know, the program is fully in English, but we also have French classes, which are honestly amazing. As somebody who struggled a lot in high school trying to learn French and failed, being here for less than a year now, I have improved my French so much through just talking to people in the university and obviously the classes. It has honestly been really incredible. So that is not something to worry about at all. And if your French level is high enough, you'll also have bigger opportunities to interact with French speakers and also your sports classes and things like that. So honestly, if you don't speak French, it's honestly not a problem at all. It's really great. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Hi, my name is Natalie, and I joined this program because I'm very fascinated by physics and mathematics, especially aerospace. I graduated with the IB diploma, if anyone is wondering. And in this program, in INSA Lyon, you're able to meet many associations or also compete in competitions. For example, me and my team, we won first place in a Volvo competition, and one association that I am in is Classe Facile, which is the rocket club. So we're able to design rockets or model planes. I really find it fascinating. I really advise you to join this program. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Adrian. I'm French. I graduated from a French bac, a little bit special since it's a OIB bac, Option Internationale Britannique. The reason I came here was because I've always been passionate about aerospace, you know, building RC model planes as a kid and building stuff with my hands. Which brings me to my second point why I came here, is that I found the balance between the theoretical and the practical aspect of the formation very interesting. And the last reason why I came here was because I was very interested by the international aspect, you know, meeting new people that came from different cultures and different countries. I'm just going to show you something that I built during my transversal project. So it's a U-joint model. Basically, it's supposed to transmit torque at different angles. So we had to come up with a design. We had to 3D print parts and to present it. So yeah, that's really a highlight of this year, and I really enjoyed it.
Hello, my name is Selvi. I am from Japan and I did the IB in Japan. And yeah, I graduated there. And the reason I joined INSA Lyon is because I have always wanted to do something in the aerospace engineering field. And I also wanted to study in Europe because it was just, you know, it's just a really nice place. And after extensive research, I found INSA Lyon and I applied and I came here. So as an example for the transversal project, my team and we made this radar system over here. And so our goal for this project was to make like a radar system that rotates about the X and the Y axis. And although it doesn't look that good, I guess, but we spent a lot of time modeling, designing, 3D printing, and eventually coming up with this model that you see right here. So thank you.
So moving on to the second year of the program. So here again, we have 2 semesters. Semester 3 is very much in the continuation of semester 2 of the first year. So this time students, they have 2 classes at ECAM, which is fluid mechanics and manufacturing. The number of hours rises a little bit. I don't think this is representative. 23 is certainly not representative. There's maths for engineering, maths 3, and we have reinforced maths 3, introduced things, numerical methods, things such as a Fourier analysis for signal processing and stuff like that, in order to meet the demands of more applied subjects in the third year, for example. But the big thing in the second year is the migration of the students to either University of Strathclyde or the University of Twente. So this is a unique feature of the program. All of our students, second year students, they move to either Scotland or the Netherlands, and they have to validate their credits there. So we have some students who did that last year, and they're going to talk about their experience and also introduce themselves. Kian.
So hello everyone, my name is Kian. I'm French and Danish, and I graduated from the French school in Copenhagen. I joined this program because I was interested in aerospace engineering, but also because it's a broad bachelor, as we also have a lot of classes in mechanics and materials. So during our semester abroad at the fourth semester, I went to the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow, Scotland. It is a lot lighter semester in terms of work, but it's a lot more specialized in aerospace, as we have classes such as aero design and propulsion systems. We also have some practical labs where we, for example, tested the lift and the drag coefficients using a wind tunnel, or we used a universal testing machine in order to get the tensile strength of various materials.
So I am Nicholas Errett. I am French and British. I did the OIB like Adrian, very similar, but during the second year, the progression is rather, it's quite steep, but then when you eventually go to Strathclyde, it's rather nice that you can it's rather nice. Then it's a more subtle pace, and then you can also use directly the aerodynamics and the propulsion classes, since there's also a aeronautics club as in Strathclyde as well. In INSA, you can then go directly from the stuff you learn in the courses and then directly apply it during these clubs, and it's honestly fantastic, since there's always great people to help you, and don't be afraid as one, because don't be afraid. In some associations, at least in INSA, there are some people that speak French, but there's mostly people speak French, but there's also people that are willing to speak English, and it's honestly really nice.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Mahendra. I'm from India, but I've been living in France for the last 10 years. So I did the bac OIB like my colleagues over here, and I graduated in 2021, and I joined this program mostly because it offers a diverse course of subjects, materials, mechanics, and aerospace. And just like my colleagues, I went to Strathclyde last year, and yeah, it's a nice semester because you get to travel abroad, gain international experience. Not only that, you get to meet many international people, especially in places such as like the Strathclyde Student Union, where you can go for Premier League nights, watch football with people. And also you get to join multiple clubs. For example, I was in part of a club, SEDS, where we were building a windmill for rural areas of Scotland and designing a windmill. And also we can also join the football clubs. Now, all in all, this program combines both international and engineering perfectly, and really suggest joining this program.
Okay, now the final year of the program, year 3. Semester 5, I would say, is rather intensive. I don't think I'm going to be contradicted. It's interesting but intense. Here again, we have 2 classes at ECAM, thermodynamics and propulsion and heat transfer. The big thing in the third year, there are 2 important projects. First, the final project. As of October, from October to the end of March, all the students will have to undertake a final project, most of the time in partnership with the company. And as of April, students must go to industry for a 4 months internship. I just realized that I forgot to mention the first internship, which is a blue-collar internship at the end of year 1, and the minimum duration is 4 weeks. So we want our students to be in contact with industry in a sort of blue-collar position, as I said, so that they realize what it's like to be a basic worker and hopefully remember what it's like when they will be maybe in higher positions later. And the final internship is longer. It's in a different position. It's normally assistant engineer. And we have 2 former students graduated in 23, and they're here they can talk a little bit about their personal experience in terms of internship, but perhaps broader in terms of the program itself. So, Khadija.
Hello, everyone. My name is Khadija. I am Tunisian, but I grew up in Qatar. That's where I studied. And after graduating, I chose to come to INSA Lyon to continue with the IB MMAE program because I really liked mechanical engineering and aerospace engineering too. Thanks to this program, I got the necessary skills, engineering skills, and theoretical knowledge to continue my studies in France, as I am now doing the continuing with the engineering diploma at INSA Lyon, which is a 3-year program. It's a work and study program, so I work and study at the same time. Thanks to the IBMMA program, I didn't only get theoretical skills, but I also had hands-on experience with projects. Projects such as the transversal project, where I created a variable pitch propeller, but also projects with companies. For example, during my 3rd year last year, I had my final project with a company called CMD Gears, and in partnership with ECAM, which is our partner school. During this project, we got to analyze the thermal losses in a high-power speed reducer used for mining in mining mills. And it was really interesting to see how it works and to get to work with a different company. And then also, I had the opportunity to have a 4-month internship in a world-leading company called Safran Transmission Systems, where I got to utilize the theoretical knowledge I gained during this program, such as the finite element method. I studied the finite element method in Strathclyde, and then during my 3rd year at INSA Lyon. And during my internship at Safran, I used this method to analyze stresses in gears used in turbo, used in engines, in airplane engines. And then now I am studying at INSA Lyon, as I said. I am doing the mechanical engineering diploma, which is the Génie mécanique, conception et innovation de produits. And I am working with a mechanical engineering laboratory at INSA, where I get to use test benches, I get to perform tests, analyze data, and also improve the test benches by creating new systems. So now my former colleague, Alina, will get to talk about her experience.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alina. I was accepted into the bachelor's program in 2020 after graduating from my American high school with some APs. I then graduated last year from the program, and it was a very positive experience. In my 3rd year, I did my internship, my 4-month internship at ECAM Silicones, where I characterized adhesive silicone gels. And this used a lot of the competencies that we did in class, especially in materials. So it was very good to see that the classes in this program are very oriented towards the work world and very applicable. And now I'm continuing my studies, my master's degree or diplôme d'ingénieur at our partner university, ECAM LaSalle. And so I'd like to conclude saying it's a very positive experience and very applicable.
Yeah. So we already talked about projects, and I think everybody sees the radar and the U-joint models. Final projects in year 3, Khadija mentioned the thermal behavior of large power density mechanical transmissions, but we have a range of possible applications, as you can see here. Interestingly, there are projects in the other modules, for example, kinematics of systems, where students have to analyze a motion transformer most of the time, and they have to calculate it analytically, they have to simulate it numerically, and some of them manage to build the system and make it run and measure the properties of the system. So projects are really an integral part of the syllabus of the bachelor's program. And after, so here you can see, I told you that we had 5 cohorts which graduated. So we have here an overview of all the possibilities, all the offers the students had. So I'm not going to read all the possibilities, but what you can see is it's extremely broad in terms of possibilities. So the first 2 universities in the list, British Columbia and Concordia, are in Canada. Then we have a range and series of universities in the UK. Strathclyde, obviously, the partner university, Cranfield University College, Imperial College, area of Watt, Glasgow University, Ireland, Limerick, Trinity College Dublin, the Netherlands, TU Delft in particular. We have quite a few students, and some of them already graduated with a master's from TU Delft. China, at Tsinghua University and Shanghai Jiaotong University. KTH Stockholm, Aalto, Vienna universities. TU München, KU Leuven in Belgium. And here are a couple of universities in the States: Cornell, Wisconsin, Madison, Georgia Tech, Harrison State, Rutgers University, University of Colorado, Boulder. And then a series of French institutions. And interestingly, you can see that there is a possibility to switch from engineering to business, which is perhaps interesting in terms of profile, because you have the technical background and you're able to manage. For example, so people did the Grenoble Business School, ECAM Lyon, in terms of business. We have somebody who got an admission at Rutgers University in New York, specialized in finance. But the majority, they carry on with engineering. So you can see Central Lyon master's program, INSA Lyon diplôme d'ingénieur, Central Supélec master's program, ECAM, Super-Héros. Quite a few of our students did masters, international masters at Super-Héros, ENAC, IBRIA, Institut Physique du Globe, Estaca, et CIL. So it shows that the program actually opens a lot of doors, and the majority of the students, I think, they prefer the international side, and they want to carry on elsewhere, not necessarily in France, to be verified every year. But it seems that there is still a taste for abroad in general. So for those who want to apply, and hopefully we'll have some, you can, maybe for the French audience, so the program is not on Parcoursup. So you don't go via Parcoursup to apply. You do it directly. You visit the website, which is shown here, Abiang, and you can download the application form. It's on the first page. And you send all the documents which are requested. So basically transcripts for the last 3 years, 2 letters of recommendation from the maths, physics teachers, for example, science teachers in general. You have to pay a little bit, I think, 96 euros if you want to apply. Basically, that's very simple. You fill in a form and you send them to the 2 email addresses, which are shown here. And there is still a little bit of time because the deadline for the applications is the 31st of May 24. For all that, you have to know that we have two admission juries. The first one is going to be held in the end of March, beginning of April. And then we'll make final offers, non-conditional offers. So meaning that you will be given a place if you're accepted. And if you want to keep this place, you will have to pay a little bit of money, by the way, but there's unconditional offers. And then the second jury is in July, beginning of July, end of June, maybe end of June this year, because we need more time to deal with all the files. And that's it. In the end, maximum number of students, 40, 45. And this year, for example, we functioned in the first year in two groups for certain subjects and one group for other subjects. And I think this is the end of the presentation. If you want more information, you have the email address where you can contact us. And I think now it's time for questions and answers. So feel free, vous pouvez bien sûr envoyer des questions par écrit en français, en anglais. On s'arrêtera là. Alors, vous avez une question qui va arriver. Okay, so the question is in English. Do all the students have a room on campus? Yes, it's an important factor. Every student who is admitted in the program is guaranteed a room on campus. There are several possibilities in terms of single, double rooms, or different qualities of single rooms and different fees corresponding to the room quality. But yes, there is no problem. You don't have, as a parent, for example, you don't have to look for flats, apartments in Villeurbanne or nearby. And we strongly recommend that the students take a room on campus in order to meet other students and not to be too isolated, for example. How many applications do you receive? Because I can read the questions myself. Last year's around 100. We had about 100 applications. The next question is, does the course differ between students who go to Strathclyde compared to Twente? Yes. Twente, in terms of themes, is more focused on aerodynamics and mechatronics, whereas Strathclyde is more on aerospace design, flight. So there are differences. I have to say that the level in Twente is high. So we'll tend to send the best students to Twente. If the question is very specific, it's about A levels and the fact that the A level results arrive normally in August. So I think, Alina, maybe you can say a few words. I think you were admitted on the predicted grades, no? If you want to say a few words about.
Hi, this is a great question, something I was actually wondering as well when I was applying. So you can definitely apply before you've received your results. You should ask for predicted grades from your teachers, whoever, like your director at your school. And personally, I was waitlisted at first, and then they let me know, and they admitted me based on my predicted grades and possibly based on my school grades, question mark? Yeah, based on my school grades as well. So I received my full, like, it wasn't a conditional offer where they were like, if you get this, you will get in. It was a full offer once they decided that they want me to come, before I received my results. So it's a great question. You can apply and you may or may not get admitted. Yeah.
Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions? Okay, there's a question here about for French speakers, what foreign languages are offered. So I think we have how many? I'll never know, but I think many different possibilities. Students have the choice from Spanish, German, Italian, Portuguese, Russian, Japanese, Chinese, and Arabic, and French as a foreign language for those who don't speak French. Is there an entrance exam? No, it's all based on marks and the grades and over the last 3 years, and exam final marks. No, there is no entrance exam. There's a question about at what time do the classes start and finish? So it's difficult. I mean, it normally starts, let's say, most of the time at 9 in the morning, exceptionally at 8 in the morning, particularly on Thursdays. And it finishes at the latest at 6 p.m. But I would say that, well, this is not the end, because as you have projects, after 6, I mean, students, they go to the canteen and they might have to work a little bit afterwards on their projects. Or another question is the campus safe? So maybe we could ask the students, somebody who would like to say a few words about that. Is the campus safe? Hadija.
Hello again. So I've lived on campus for 4 years now, 3 years during the bachelor's and this year too. And I can confirm that the campus is safe. There are always security guards roaming around the campus, making sure that all the students are safe. And there are emergency numbers that you can call in case of anything, and they answer at all times, even at night. The security guards work around the clock, 24/7. And there's a doctor on campus, and the doctor is always open, even at night. So yeah, I can confirm it is safe.
Okay, we have a question concerning, are you able to resit exams during the course? Okay, let me explain the philosophy in terms of assessment. We have what we can call the multimodal assessment practice. We have, for example, in my class, mechanics 1, 2, 3, we have a combination of quizzes, written exams, but also projects in the second year. And we try to balance things. So honestly, if you work seriously and if you are present in class, there is absolutely no reason not to validate, except if your original level is not as it should be, but normally you wouldn't be accepted in that case. So with a little bit of application and effort, normally you can validate. Maybe some people can confirm, maybe Alina, do you remember about validation? And is it difficult to validate? Do we have to resit? And
hello again. So I came from the American system, which had a lot different standards than here at INSA or in France in general. So I have to admit, in the beginning, it was a little bit of a struggle to get used to the new system out of 20 instead of out of 100. and a little bit harder expectations that they needed for these classes, especially with maths. But I adapted. I think after the first semester, I got used to it. And afterwards, it got easier and easier to validate the classes. I think, is it still the same system where if you struggle a little bit in the class, but then catch up in the second semester, it's retroactively validated in the first semester. So that's all the teachers are also very supportive. So I don't think it's anything to worry about.
So to answer technically to this question, there is no second session of exams, but normally it's not needed. It's true that one of the difficulties of the program is you understand that we have students coming from everywhere in the world, and they come from very different systems. Latin America, for example, there's nothing comparable with France or Russia or Japan or IB schools or etc. So the first semester, for example, is a semester of transition. We understand that it's not easy to adapt, and we make sure that if there's a progression over the year, that everything will be validated. I have another question here. Is the program compatible with a part-time job? No, at all. I mean, it's rather demanding, and honestly, it's not a good strategy to work on the side. I know that some students do or did, but honestly, it's not recommended. Okay, does the university provide places for internship, or do students have to find internships themselves? That's an interesting question, because we're right in there. It's not clear-cut lined out. I mean, we have contacts in companies, and we can activate our contacts to try to help the students. But at the same time, we do believe that it's important that students are able to find their own internship, because it's a preparation for the job market when they will have to look for jobs afterwards. And remember that one of the objectives of the program is to also make it possible to enter the job market after the 3 years. So, of course, we help as much as we can, but we are not going to find all the internships for all the students. It's part of the education that we want to give. Students are able to contact companies, they have interviews, and in order to help them, we have specific classes in the third year where students are trained to interview. They are filmed. We help correct little drawbacks that they may have, and we help them with the CVs as well. D'autres questions? Other questions? Okay, about the nationalities of the teachers. It's rather varied. And behind the question of nationalities is perhaps the question of the English level of the teachers. So I'm going to ask the students what they think. In terms of nationalities, we have French teachers, but not just. We have a Dutch teacher, we have Irish teacher. We have, it's not as varied as the nationalities of the students, but we have a Czech teacher, for example, a German teacher, both of them in mechanical design. So we have also, I would say, an international team of teachers. And the level of English of the teachers, I mean, it's hard to, if you want to make comments, I'm not going to listen to your comments, but Alina or Alina or Alina.
Hello, I'm back. Regarding the level of the teachers' English, the professors, it's really good. I was worried about that quite a lot because it's kind of, I guess, a little bit of a stereotype that like a lot of people who are French have like a very strong accent, which is the case in some scenarios for some of the older teachers maybe. But as you can hear, Mr. Valek's here, he speaks very fluent English and it's very easy to understand him. And some of our teachers, like he said, are not French. And for example, our math teacher is English. Is English. Yeah, he's great.
Engineering is also English.
Yes. So there's quite a few different nationalities, and all of them are quite easy to understand, to be honest. It's never been a problem. Not ever, to be honest. Well, yeah, pretty much never. Yeah, so it's great, honestly. Then that's one thing you really do not have to worry about.
Okay. Est-ce que nous avons d'autres questions qui arrivent? Oui. What is the class calendar like? In which months does the start and finish? Okay, we just follow the usual INSA calendar. So the beginning of class in 24 is going to be late September, 28, 23rd of September. And we're finished by mid-June. The holidays, there's 1 week in November. There are 2 weeks for Christmas, 1 week in February, 2 weeks for Easter. And I think that's it. And then we have the long weekends in May. But that's the classic calendar. Starts mid-end of September, depends on the year. And it finishes by mid-June. Is it possible to visit the campus to see the classes, how it's like? Yes, absolutely. It is possible to visit the classes. We already had visits. You need to take use the email address that was shown, send a little email, and then we will organize the visit. And I think we have visits scheduled in the coming days, I think. Yes, it's absolutely possible. Is there an interview with the candidate for the application? No, there is no interview. This is purely based on the transcripts and letters of recommendations, academic performance of the students. D'autres questions? Donc, avons-nous épuisé l'ordre du jour et l'auditoire? Bien, nous avons tenu pratiquement 1 heure, donc s'il n'y a pas de questions de dernière minute, il me reste à remercier les élèves qui ont bien voulu se prêter à ce jeu. Thanks a lot. Et vous remercier, vous, d'avoir pris le temps de nous écouter pour cette présentation qui, nous l'espérons, vous aura permis de répondre à un certain nombre de questions concernant ce programme de Bachelor international de l'INSA de Lyon. Voilà, donc je vous remercie et je vous souhaite une excellente soirée. Au revoir.